So we know that Satan is an accuser, right? So in the beginning of Job, it very specifically talks about there's a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord, which tells us that he has access to get in front of God and to accuse us of things. And there's a battle happening up there that we can't fully comprehend. But what we have to try to understand is that what we do here matters very much. There's a story about David who makes a mistake. He does the census count when he shouldn't have, and a prophet comes to him and is like, "This was not good." And he was like, I sinned. I screwed up." And basically the prophet's like, "You did, but it's not to death." And basically tells him like, God's not going to kill you because of it. However, he says, because of this sin that you did, you allowed opportunity for the Lord's enemy to, what does he say? You allowed opportunity for the Lord's enemy to blaspheme. And because of this, he had to pick between one and three things that was going to come from this. So but the point of that story is that he tells him right up front that because you made this sin, now the enemy can get in front of the Lord and talk about you and how you were supposed to be this great man of God, but then look at you. You're making this mistake and you sin. He's doing the same thing with us. When we screw up, when we fall into that sin, when we don't take the right path, we are giving opportunity for the enemy to get in front of the Lord and try to take advantage of our mistakes. What you do here matters. What you do on earth matters. So remember not to give the opportunity to enemies of God to be able to blaspheme. Keep yourself out of the sin. Keep yourself away from the bad influences. Make the right choices so that when the enemy gets in front of God, God can say, look at my servant. Look at my disciple. Look at my child down there doing the right thing, even in extenuating circumstances, even when you've brought punishment. Job shows us that we can go through suffering for more reasons than sometimes we could understand. Just know that you're suffering for a good reason. There's two sides to that coin. You can either look at it like, I'm suffering and Satan's going to bring the worst out in you, or you're suffering for God and you are going to do it with a gracious attitude.